in the house, but I'm not hosting. We've got somebody else hosting. He's a rookie. He's a rookie here, okay? So it's some pressure on him. I'll try to make it light with my man, Peter Stranger. All right, now he got loudmouth himself, Mr. Attitude. Dog in the house, okay?
What's
you
up,
know that's
no.
And my man Swagoo.
He's my buddy.
He's my buddy. So now, doggies, I could say holla at your boy, but that's not good enough. We got doggies in the house. So you know what we're gonna do? Let's go! Let's roll.
Let's do this. Love this. Guys, first take. I'm hosting. I cannot wait to be here for the next 2 hours. What a crew.
Yes.
We're starting in New York. Let's kick things off right here in the Big Apple. The headline yesterday, as you saw, Adam Schefter reported, New York is benching Russell Wilson in just week 4 of the NFL season. They're handing the ball over to their first-round pick, Mr. Jaxson Dart. It'll be the first start of Dart's career, and it'll come against the undefeated Los Angeles Chargers. The winless Giants are hoping the move will spark something after Russ struggled mightily against the Chiefs this past weekend. Stephen A.
Yeah.
What does Jaxson Dart have to do to save Brian Daboll's job?
Well, first of all, he has to look better than average. He has to look impressive. It has to be the kind of look that he gives off, fellas, that gives an indication that he's being developed. You understand that where you can look at him and his skill set and say, okay, Brian Daboll is having a positive impact on them. Of course, you have to see the team collectively feed off of his energy, his adrenaline, and that from the Giant faithful out there, where your defense shows up and be a bit respectable. But most importantly than that, you've got a stud in Malik Neighbor. You've got another one. You just got Wan'Dale Robinson can ball too. The combination of those two, if they're really excelling and they're raving about their quarterback and they're thriving, then those things could lead towards Daboll being saved. It's a lot to ask. It's a lot to expect. But it is possible it can happen if you got a quarterback that goes out there that's saying, listen, it wasn't about the coach. It was about who was playing quarterback. I'm here now, so you don't have nothing to worry. You don't have much to worry about.
Yeah, I'd be a little worried if I'm Daboll because Jones has played well in Indianapolis, which obviously also doesn't look good.
Right.
But I believe in Daboll. I still think he's a good coach. Wilson was terrible in games 1 and 3. Great in the middle there against Dallas. That might be more about the Dallas defense than it might be about
of course it is.
Wilson. So, I mean, I think that this is a move he probably had to make. Now, he had 2 paths to keep his job with the owner this year. His first path was to have a very good season with Wilson, win 9 games, and be on the periphery of the playoffs. Well, that path is now closed.
Yep.
So the second path was to play the kid and have the kid really show that he's going to be a big-time player, and then we can give Daboll a little props for making him, training camp and seeing development, that he's the right mentor for him. So now he's on path number 2, and for Daboll's future, and I like him, and I like to see him stay. This is imperative that Dart plays well. And everybody says he had a great training camp.
Yep.
He did play well in the 3 or 4 games that he played, 3 games he played. So I'm relatively optimistic, but this is important for Daboll that Dart plays good football.
I agree, Mad Dog. They need competency. Like when you have a young quarterback starting for the first time, you want him to be competent. And I know it may sound elementary. You want him getting in and out of the huddle with some efficiency. You want him to see coverages. You want him to be able to come up to the line of scrimmage and potentially change some things if you're in a bad play. And sometimes it's about how well the individual plays as opposed to winning games. I said it before the season. The Giants are really solid in a lot of areas. I like this team. They got to get a little bit better in the secondary, obviously. But this defensive front, one of the best defensive fronts in the league when you talk about individuals. This offensive line is going to be better, especially with Andrew Thomas coming back. Jaxson Dart, to me, has to show competency. I harken back to when J.J. McCarthy played his first game under Kevin O'Connell. I thought that pressure was significant because Kevin O'Connell had proven that I can get quarterbacks that were cast away to win 14 games in Minnesota.
Right.
Brian Daboll doesn't have that issue. He has to have that particular position look well as the game goes along. Now, you in New York, y'all both got radio shows. If this kid plays well, y'all know what's gonna happen. Y'all know what's gonna transpire. It puts more pressure on Brian Daboll if Jaxson Dart comes out here and looks phenomenal.
What else you got around him?
Because what else you got around him, and right? So the team in itself, Jaxson Dart, more importantly, has to show competency. And if he, by some chance, goes out there and looks like some of these rookies we've seen, Jaden Daniels, or he looks like Burrow looked, or if he looks any remotely close to that, they have more pressure. Joe Shane and Brian Daboll has more pressure. So what I'm trying to say is we can be all excited about Brian Daboll's job and Joe Shane's job. There is going to be an enormous amount of pressure if this kid is good. Not if he's bad, because they're going to get fired anyway.
I'll add, 31st in defense with that front four right now. Red zone, Russell Wilson, I think, is 4 for 20 in the red zone as far as passing attempts. That building Sunday night on national television, covered in red, boos out there for Russell. Like, that is what hits the Mara family.
Well, I will tell you this. Well, first of all, a lot should hit the Mara family because the Giants have been atrocious.
Yeah.
Okay, since 2011, they've been arguably the worst team in football. Seriously, just look it up. I remember one time a couple of years ago, there was a debate about them or Jacksonville being the worst, and we were reminded that Jacksonville was in an AFC Championship game in 2017. The New York Giants have been to the playoffs twice since 2011. They've had a winning record 3 times in 14 years. They have been an atrocity. And when you take into consideration that they were once in a conversation to be a gold standard of the National Football League, how in God's name has that drop-off occurred? That's a discussion for the Maras, the Tisches of the world. They got to explain that one day. Someday they got to explain where the hell did things go wrong, because it was never supposed to be this bad. Here's what I would tell you, though. As we heard those boos, this is where Brian Daboll hurts himself. There's nothing wrong with you pulling Russell Wilson from that game Sunday night.
Nope.
Nothing.
Nope.
It happens all the time. It doesn't matter who it is. It doesn't mean, even if it's your starting quarterback and you're going to throw him out there another week. It just ain't your night. It's a bad night. For him to leave Russell Wilson in there showed you weren't thinking about just football. It was something else going on with your mind, because that's an easy call to make. You could have yanked him out, and then said, we could come back to him next week because it is against the Chargers. It's not against New Orleans the week after. You could have done that. He did not do that. And so that just shows there's stuff on his mind and there's political decisions being made as opposed to just football decisions.
But and say, think about this, right? Like, you bring up a great point about Brian Daboll and should have pulled Russell Wilson. The hell you get from fans in sports, and we've been doing this long enough, is when you're prolonging the inevitable.
Correct.
And it's not going well. See, 2 weeks ago when Russell Wilson was dicing up Dallas defense, you had an opportunity to just say, okay, we got our starter, he's a veteran, we are going to sit idle until it falls apart and Jaxson Dart has to come into the game. Because the inevitable was going to happen anyway. Last week, Brian Daboll sped up his firing process, in my opinion. Now all of the onus lies on this kid starting the first snap of the game, playing against a really good football team, and not having an idea of what an NFL football game feels like when you step out on the field for the first time against a real, legitimate Super Bowl contender in the Chargers. Last week, if you put him in the game when Russ is struggling, one, you got a chance to reignite the football team, because we got Malik Neighbors back pissed off.
You definitely going to reignite the fans.
The fan base. So now you come into this week saying, we saw the kid do some good things.
The only time they were cheering last week was when he came in that spot duty. That's when the crowd got excited.
He had to play Wilson last week off that Dallas game.
100%. But
he had to play.
We're talking about that.
You can move off.
You want to get him out of the game in the fourth quarter?
Yeah. When you spend 3.5 quarters showing you can do absolutely nothing,
he was bad.
You can do that.
Didn't I just explain to this man that people get mad about prolonging the inevitable?
Well, you know who gets madder than him?
One other thing for you to be.
For more yardage, that'll be a pickup of 21.
They've done a nice job spreading the ball around. Make the defense have to account for as many different weapons as possible here early. Think back to our conversation with this coaching staff, Mike. They identified this guy as someone they needed to get involved early and often, so that might be his first target, and I don't think it's going to be his last.
Play fake to McCaffrey. Now, Purdy. He'll be hit as he throws, and that one will wind up incomplete. Could not step into the throw that time. It'll bring up second down. Shotgun snap to Purdy. Hit as he throws and is incomplete. Just couldn't deliver that one the way he wanted to. Not really sure if there was much there anyways. We do know it'll be third down. Again in the air for Purdy. Has his man. It's Samuel. And he will score. Deebo Samuel. Touchdown, 49ers. A terrific play all the way around, finished off by the receiver, who not only made the grab, but Greg turned it up and takes it into the end zone.
And that's the tricky part, Mike, that transition from receiver to runner. And in this case, he does it flawlessly. Look the ball in, secure the catch, and then get upfield and get yourself in the end zone.
Now Jake Moody for the extra point. It's up and good. And the 49ers come right back to tie it at 7. Each team one possession, each team a score. 7-7 as they kick it off. But dangerous Mecole Hardman on the return. And he's brought down right at the 35-yard line. The Chiefs offense ready to see the football for the second time. We're trying to break out of this deadlock. We are all even at 7 as they start this drive, 1st and 10. The drive begins with a run by Pacheco. And nothing on that one, back to the line of scrimmage, and that is it.
So often when it comes to safeties, Mike, we talk about their speed and their range, but for him to be able to come up and make a tackle and be physical at the point of attack and keep this ball carrier to no gain, that's pretty impressive.
He'll be hit as he throws this time, and it's going to fall incomplete. He might be fortunate just to avoid the sack. And it'll set up a 3rd down. Out of the gun, here's Mahomes. That is caught. He gets the hook up with Rice. And they will bring him down on the other side of midfield. Mahomes finding Rice for the Kansas City 1st down.
This is clinic tape for any young wide receiver out there watching this guy run routes. He has the defender thinking everything is a go ball. Attack him vertically, and then when you get to your route depth, you stick that foot in the ground, you break in, balls on time, results in a nice 1st down pickup.
Play fake. Now it's Mahomes. And he can't hang on through the contact. It's incomplete. What a good job defensively to meet him just as the ball was arriving. And it'll be 2nd down. To the air once more, it's Mahomes. Work in the middle of the field, but that is incomplete.
He decides to go with this safe throw and throws it well short of the sticks. And at this level, Mike, you just can't miss layups like that.
On 3rd down, Mahomes.